chance to look at the film and kind of take stock. What did you think of their shooting performance in comparison to the types of contests that you got, and what, if anything, you would change sort of about the level of contests that you got in the shots last game?
It was a mixed bag. I mean, they played really well, and I never want to come up here after we lose a game and discredit the opponent and talk about shooting variance in that light. Like they were sharper, they made the plays, they made the shots, and they deserve to win as a result of that. Now, as it relates to us and as it relates to us improving, we try to evaluate it on a possession by possession basis. There were some that were tough that you just tip your hat to them. There was plenty we could have controlled, and that's true after every game. We could have a hot shooting night, or our opponent could have a bad shooting night, and we still want to try to learn those lessons and improve. And uh, our after action review of this game was no different.
Go ahead, Dave. Mark, maybe it's just the business that you signed up for, but I wanted to know if you had any reaction to the news out of Denver and a team making that decision with only a handful of games left in the regular season.
Yeah, obviously surprised, just like everybody else. Um, I also don't pretend to know the ins and outs of everything, but I do know competing against their team over the past couple of years, I have great respect for uh, their whole team. I mean, they're really, really hard to compete against. They put you in a lot of dilemmas. They're organized, they're tight. And I think that's a reflection of their players and the continuity they had. And I think it's a reflection of their coaching staff and Coach Malone. So I always had respect for him as a competitor, um, and was certainly surprised like everybody else.
What else we got? We'll go with Harris, then we'll go with
Coach, just the last home game of the regular season. I was just wondering if you had any reflection over the crowd over the course of this season, given how historic the season's been for you guys.
I mean, I enjoyed. I not I enjoyed. I joined the organization a long time ago, and the team was a high performing team, and I saw what this home court was capable of in terms of the fans and the passion and the consistency of the fans. Where I really gained a lot of respect for our fan base was during the rebuild. It was a time, it was coming out of COVID. And I just thought we had the wind at our back with our fans, with the support that they showed a young team that was not producing immediate results. And now that the team has gained some momentum on court, it's returned to where it was or exceeded it to some degree, with the way that the home court has been this season. So we appreciate our fans that come out. We appreciate our fans that can't come out or don't come out, but support us from home or around the country, around the world. We do feel that. I think the level of support we feel in the market puts the wind at our backs, puts the wind at our players' backs in a culture where there's a lot of criticism and a lot of pressure on them. To have a fan base that really hangs in there with the team through the ups and downs is impressive and something that we're grateful for.
Yeah, you mentioned Malone, but this is only a few days after Memphis. I mean, this is a couple of them in a very short period of time. From a mental standpoint, as a coach, when you see stuff like that, how strange is it? I guess being a profession where things like that can happen, and I mean, does it? I don't know, give you any pause? Does it? Where does that resonate with you as far as the profession overall goes?
My reality is more in this organization with this team, and I've been here a long time. I've felt a lot of support. Um, I have Mr. Bennett is as steady and as impressive and humble of a governor as there is. Sam in the front office are steady hand decision makers, not only with the coach but with everybody. I mean, if you come here, you get supported to do your best work. You get empowered to do your best work. There is a standard and there's accountability to that standard, but uh, there's also a level of fairness with that I think everybody here feels, and they've held on that for a long, long time, and I've felt that. So I don't really look around and take the temperature in other places. All I know, I've only worked in one NBA organization, and I've had an amazing experience here, and that's my reality more so than looking left and right at other situations. I've never been anywhere else. I'm certainly not in those places every day. I really can't comment on it.
When you spoke with JJ after Sunday's game, he mentioned, or acknowledged rather, that their shooting that they had in that game, starting I think 15 to 20, that's not something that they can rely upon tonight. But the way they defended you guys and the effort and execution of their game plan is something that
they hope to carry on from game to game. What stood out the most to you about their defense and how they defended you guys on Sunday?
It was defense and offense. They played better, for much of that game. We had good stretches and good possessions, but they played better for way, way more of the 48 minutes, even independent of the shot making. And I think sometimes when you play better, the shot making is a reflection of that. They were in a rhythm because how sharp they were relative to us, and vice versa on the other end of the floor. So like I said right at the beginning, I never use shot variance to discredit an opponent. They deserve to win. That's reflected in the final score, and we have an opportunity tonight to go out there and play better.
Mark, how have you gone about role definition with your team, considering a lot of these players that are in quote-unquote role like supporting players are young players that are growing and that are going to be better tomorrow than they are today? How close have you had to monitor acceptance and roles and stuff like that throughout the season? I guess kind of what's your general philosophy to it?
We focus on the strengths of our players. First of all, like what are the things that they can bring that help the team? We acknowledge those even if they're invisible. I think that's a big deal for us. There's a lot of things you can do to impact a team and impact a game that a lot of people don't see on the surface, and we try to make sure that we shine the light on that so that the guys know that their effort and their commitment to those things is acknowledged and appreciated inside of our walls. I think that goes a long way. And then we try to take a growth mindset to every player, especially the guys that are pre-prime or early in their prime. Players change and they grow and they evolve. So the strengths that they have now and the way they can impact the team now, that can change over time. And we've got plenty of examples of that. And so I think that helps guys to understand that, you can embrace the current role that you're playing on the team without feeling boxed into that. I think Casey Wallace is an example of that. Wiggins is an example of that. Jalen Williams, Dub, is an example of that. I mean, he did not start. He didn't start when he was a rookie, and the ball wasn't in his hands right away, but he played his role really well and then evolved. As his skill set evolved and his impact evolved, so did his role. And so that's how we handle it. And we also have the wind at our back because we have great guys that are team first guys and competitors, and they see the big picture, and that certainly makes it a lot easier.
What else we got? That it?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.